Hello and welcome to the fourth round of the Clay Championship. This week we're racing at Mugello in Italy. Here we are with the qualifying practice session. This is the first lap that I was doing, and it turned out to be my fastest, which is kind of a surprise because normally on the first lap then I'm trying to get up to speed and do a banker lap, but unfortunately on the second lap, even though I was up on my time, I made a slight mistake going onto the curb and it all went away. But we go down into turn one, completely mess it up. I mean, it's horrible. Anybody could do that better than what I did there. But go into turn two quite well and get on the throttle a bit too early for turn three and mess that one up. That wasn't ideal. It's only a red sector because nobody else has done a time yet as we go through these chicanes, and this is where I feel I was quite good with my setup. I had longer gearing, so the bike would roll into the corner really nicely. You see through here, the bike will roll in really nicely, just holding it in third gear. And again, throughout Beata 2, I was really carrying a lot of corner speed, which was great in qualifying, but it didn't work out in the race, unfortunately, as you all see. But lucky there that the curb didn't send me into space as we come towards the end of the lap. Turn 12, nice, getting a late apex there, getting us ready for the fast chicane, which is really tricky, as Ethan sets a banker lap there at 44.1. That's a great time to put him on provisional pole position, but we should be on to a better lap as we come out of the final corner and head towards the line. What's it going to be? It is a 43.8, not bad. Could have been a bit better, but it is what it is. I was hoping for maybe a 43.5, but I think I could have got it, but unfortunately on this lap, just a bit slower, the curb killed me. But funnily enough, this lap would have also got me pole position. As you see here, Alvaro, Suizo, Carlos, Isco, all very close together. A good qualifying session there, but my first pole position, I was pleased with that after only one practice session. I'll take that. But we move on to the race. I'm on the front row, I'm in the prime position. Surely I can get a better start than what I normally do. As the lights go out, we are off, and I felt like I did it quite well, but unfortunately the other bikes already swamped me. Carlos, Alvaro, Isco come flying past Suizo, and then already there, as I hit into the back of Isco, I knew there was some kind of problem, because the practice race I braked into the first turn at the exact same point as I go on to Suizo, and it was totally fine, but the bike just wasn't doing what it was supposed to be doing as I let Suizo back through there, because at this point, with the bike not being quite how I want it to be, and with my luck in the previous races, I just wanted to stay on the bike. I could have gone up the inside of Suizo here, but I gave him room again. I didn't want to take any risk at all. I just wanted to stay on the bike. That was the important thing. So I'm happy to just sit here in fifth position and see what happens. But Isco gets unlucky, crashes on the curb. We go past Carlos, but he wants that position back, and I don't want to be fighting too hard because it's a dangerous place to be. As Didion has a crash, really closing up here. I could shove it up the inside here and push him wide, but no, I don't want to take any risks. I want to be clean, I want to be risk free. As we come towards the end of the first lap, going into the final corner, and Carlos goes really wide, and I have to go through here, but he just pushes me onto the curb unnecessarily. There's no need for that, in my opinion. I'm giving room. I could shove people around if I wanted, but yeah, I wasn't too pleased with that. As we go into the first corner, go past him, but again the bike, now I'm in the slipstream with this longer gearing, it just wasn't slowing down at all, and everybody had much more braking performance than me. And as you can see here, my mid-corner speed was good because of my gearing, but I couldn't do anything with that, unfortunately. See there, Carlos again gets better entry into the corner with the brakes, but I pull it back mid-corner. That seemed to be a trait of this race, which I need to learn from. It's definitely important to have shorter gearing in a race like this to make the most of those braking and acceleration points, otherwise you're a sitting duck. For a qualifying lap, I think the settings have to be different from that. As the racer Suizo has a crash, I think he may have touched the curb there. That promotes us up to third, and this is what I was hoping for. Just staying on the bike, minding my own business, and see what happens, because after the last few races I just wanted to have a race without any crashes as we go through the fast chicane. Really tricky to get that right, and I thought I did it quite well, but along comes Karsberg on the Suzuki out of nowhere. I was thinking, how on earth has he got that exit? As you see there, I give room. That's what you're supposed to do in racing. But yeah, I had no idea how he got that exit, but it turned out he cut the chicane, and that explained everything. And I was happy to sit behind him here, moved out of the slipstream to make sure I get some braking, but my bike just glues itself to his. I tried everything to avoid that. I wasn't even trying to go for a move. I was just trying to brake early, go next to him to make sure I wasn't in the slipstream, and to get the bike stopped. But for some reason I couldn't escape the magnet that was pulling me towards his bike, and God knows what happened. And yeah, not good at all. I was really frustrated with that, because I was trying to play it safe. So to end up crashing like that when you're trying to play it safe is infuriating. There was nothing I could have done differently, in my opinion. I was happy with what I was doing, and all of a sudden I'm just being gravitated towards his bike, and off we go. But now here we're battling with the two Ducatis, Isco up ahead battling as well. I was slightly more irritated at this point, and I just wanted to get some moves done, and I see a gap opening up. It reminds me of Mugello in real life with Marquez, Dovi and Petrucci, and we shove it up the middle and managed to get our way, bully our way past. Really, I would have liked to have been a bit cleaner, but at this point I was so frustrated, I just wanted to get past. So that was quite successful, really, to get two bikes in pretty much one corner. We skip forward here, all over the back of Isco, but again, it's tricky to overtake. I was a bit happier now. I'd been in, had a few laps under my belt, forgotten a bit about the earlier incident, and I just didn't want to take any risks again. So I was sitting behind Isco, waiting for that next straight on the following lap, and just hoping I'd slipstream my way past him into the first turn. So I was just relaxed here, taking it easy all over the back of him, not really looking for any move. Just, you can see here the pace as I roll into the corner was really good. As we come through Arrabbiata 2, unbeknown to me, I break into here, do what I thought was normal, but smash into the back of Isco, and it's another crash. And well, it is a disaster. What can I say? This has got to be the worst race I've ever done in the history of all my races. I have no idea what happened there. So much so that I thought I'd compare the clips and I'll just show you those now side by side. So as you saw there, both of the clips look really similar, so I thought I'd take some screenshots. Here's the first one behind Disco. You see I'm doing 157 kilometers an hour at the apex. My tyres are worn and my throttle is just about halfway. If you compare that to when I was behind Carlos earlier, exact same position, but with newer tyres, I'm actually going faster, but my throttle, as you can see, is at the same place. You can see the consistency is there. So theoretically I should exit that corner quicker because I've got fresher tyres behind, I'm behind Carlos, and everything else is the same. But here you can see behind Disco, just at the braking point I'm doing 245 kilometers. But if you compare that to Carlos, again in the same position, I'm 10 kilometers slower. So despite being slower at the apex behind Disco and being on worn tyres, I somehow end up 10 kilometers quicker going into the braking zone, which is of course why I ended up smashing into him, because sorry, distracted there as Victor unfortunately crashes into my laggy bike. Really unlucky for him, that was not good at all. But yeah, somehow I exited the corner with worn tyres, and I was exiting a fraction slower than on a previous lap, but I end up 10 kilometers faster, and that makes no sense to me at all. I guess only Milestone can explain that one. But a victory for Carlos, great performance by him, the two Suzukis, but I'm down in 8th, which is shocking. And I wasn't very happy at all. Carlos takes the lead actually of the championship, closely followed by Suizo, but I am pretty much out of it. I'm going to need to do something completely different to get myself back into that. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.